Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Over Easy. My name is Manny, in case you're new here, or welcome back. In case you're new here, I'm Manny, as I said. I'm a 23-year-old. I work full-time and I'm just living my life and making my podcast about whatever it is I want to share about. I kind of think of it more of as like a FaceTime session between two friends, and we just talk about what's going on with our lives and what particular thought or topic that I have that I want to discuss. That's usually how I make my episode topics anyway. I have ideas, but honestly, when it comes down to Saturdays, which is the day I film, I just think about what have I been thinking a lot about this week? What do I want to discuss? And what is going on in my life? And that's usually how I'll decide my episodes. Anyways, today, the week that you are listening to this is officially the last week of summer. I believe the first day of fall is like September 22nd, which is freaking crazy that summer is over. And so I don't know why, but this time around, I'm feeling a much bigger shift in the seasons. Can't really describe how it is, but it's just very obvious to me that a season is ending and a new season is coming. And so we're gonna do a little hot girl summer review / recap and kind of just reflect on the outgoing season and the incoming one. Actually, the incoming one we'll talk more about next week. But before we get into all of that, we're going to do a little check-in, which is a rose, a bud, and a thorn. A rose is something good that's happened this week. A bud is something you're looking forward to, and a thorn is something that's not so good, in case you are new here and you don't know. This is always my favorite reflection of all time, or not a reflection, but check-in, not just with yourself, to reflect about what's going on in your life, but also with other people. I love this as an icebreaker. It's like my favorite thing ever. Anyways, getting off track. My thorn I just thought of it. Oh, I remember. My thorn for this week is that I think I am finally missing living alone for the first few weeks. It's been 3 weeks now, I think. 26, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks. So it's been 3 weeks now. And when I first moved back home, I was really happy and excited to be back with my family, of course, and also just excited because it was nice to have people around again. One thing that was really hard for me living alone, and for anyone that's living alone, is that you literally have to do everything by yourself. It was really hard for me because I would work until 5 and then go and work out, and then I'd still have to cook dinner when I come back home, and then I always like to try and sleep early to get a full 8 hours of sleep. So it was very, very tiring once you start doing that for like weeks and weeks and weeks. But I don't know, recently I think I've it's really hit me that it's like, oh, I don't live alone anymore, and that kind of sucks because I really did like living alone and I really liked that experience. I also just really miss my apartment in general because it was honestly like one of my perfect ideal apartments. The layout was great. I think there was just enough space for me, not too big and not too small. There was a patio where you can enjoy the sun, and it was also west facing, so there was always a lot of direct sunlight, especially in the summer. So I am feeling a little bit sad about that, about the fact that I think it's like the fact that I don't live in that particular apartment in general. Actually, I'm not really sure because I've only had this experience, but I just really, really miss my apartment, and it makes me a little bit sad, and that's my thorn for today. My rose and my bud. My rose is... What even is my rose? I don't even know. My rose is... Okay. So my rose is, I have decided to share. My rose is, I have said this like 5 times. It's that I have finally decided to be in my peace era, is what I'm calling it. So I was seeing someone for the longest time, not for the longest time. Over the summer, I was seeing someone and also going on other Hinge dates, as I've said before. So it was my summer of yes, which we will talk about later. But it was just getting to the point where I was reconsidering my intentions and also what I want to focus on right now. And I've realized that the whole point of me being single was that I wanted to be single to be able to achieve things that I want to do and achieve my greatest goals. And I feel like I'm just going to be straightforward with it. I feel like boys and men are just such a distraction. And I'm not saying that you can't be in a relationship and also achieve your greatest goals, but for me, it just ruins my peace. And I was just kind of getting tired of it. So I am back just like in my celibate era, which I actually really like. And I have been looking into different things that I may want to pursue, which we could talk about another time because it's just been like a fleeting thought in my brain. But I'm back in my peace era and it's been really, really nice. Although some things have ruined my peace this week and that is not nice. But just in general, I'm back in like the focusing on myself, focusing on what I want to do. Don't have to have regard for other people kind of vibe. And that's been really, really nice to have. My bud is that I am looking into not going back to school per se, like going for my master's, which is something I am still thinking about. If you know, I took the GRE with the intention of going back to grad school, but I just want to continue learning. And I may register in a course or not. I don't really know right now. I'm still just trying to figure out what I want to do with my career. And that makes me very excited, which I guess is my bud, is that there are just so many opportunities that I'm looking forward to, and my life will be so full of so many opportunities that it'll be very, very exciting. Okay, let's do our affirmation of the episode, and then we can get into it. Our affirmation of the day. Treat others with kindness, but don't forget yourself. What a good one. I think I have been quite hard on myself lately. I've been going through I was journaling about it this morning. I've been going through this phase of comparison trap again, where I just am constantly comparing myself to people around me, people my age, people I see on social media. And it's kind of really annoying, to say the least. I am usually very confident and just headstrong about these things. I don't second guess myself and I don't feel bad about myself, I guess you could say. But recently, I think I've grown a little complacent and I would like to continue expanding my skills and developing, which is kind of also why I'm looking into doing courses and stuff like that. But I'm just taking my time and fully researching because I don't want to just jump into things without knowing the full story and also like thinking about what the implications are. So we'll see. Should I share? I mean, I guess I could. So what I'm alluding to, I'll be more specific, is I think I may consider doing a project management course and maybe getting my PMP, but that is still a ways away because I know that project management, you need a lot of work experience for that kind of stuff. But the reason why I'm thinking about it is because I think about my current job, which is basically like operations coordinating and logistics coordinating. And I really, really do like my job. I like the aspect of seeing things as little projects to work on and being able to coordinate the right teams of people to complete that project, also lay out the clear steps that we need, problem solving if things arise. I really, really like all those different parts of my job right now, and I do want to take it one step further and maybe think about project management. And that I just don't really know what that would look like, because project management, a lot of it I've learned or I've seen is in the construction field, but I don't know if I would want to do that. Actually, I would love to do project management in the education sector. As I've mentioned, I have a lot of interest in that, and I also have a lot of experience with that. So maybe something like that, but I don't really know if that exists or is possible. So I'm still just researching it right now. I might do a project management course, not to get my PMP, but just to explore the world of it and see if I like it. But then it's well, courses cost money and also a lot of time, and I would have to do it part-time with work. So I just don't really know what the logistics are with that and thinking about what my life would look like. But maybe, we'll see. Anyways, today we are doing a Hot Girl Summer review, as I said, to celebrate the change of the seasons. It does make me a little bit sad that summer is over, because I honestly think that this was probably my best summer yet. I think the only other best summer ever was the one that I had when I was 16. And that summer I went to Disney World to perform in a parade and in a show. And then right after that, I did a month at Stanford for summer camp, and it was just the funnest month in my entire life. So this past summer, 2023, was probably a very close second to that summer. But anyways, I thought it was the perfect time to just review about the season, think about what I liked and what I didn't like, and what I want to bring with me to the next season and what I maybe want to leave behind. So I was looking online and I found some questions online. They're by a woman named Anna Saxton. They're on her blog. So I'm sure if you just search up seasons changing reflections questions, I think that's what I searched up. They were the second Google search, but you can also search her name up, Anna Saxton, summer review questions. So we're going to go over them today, talk about how this summer went for me, what I liked, what I didn't like, and everything like that. So let's get started. I also didn't do all of her questions, by the way. It feels like I can't breathe. I don't know why. I feel like I'm not taking enough breaths and I'm running out of air. But the first question was, what were the highlights of this summer? So I do want to get into specific memories, of course, but I think the overarching theme that made this summer so much fun was it was my yes summer. My yes summer, I said yes to more experiences, opportunities, and things like that. And it also helped that my friends were also very, very down to do anything, wanted to try, and open to new experiences. So for me, what that looked like as a yes summer was if my friends and I wanted to go hiking or just go out spontaneously, it was a yes. Do you want to go get ice cream? Yes, always yes. And so it was a lot of fun because it made me feel like I was the person who would cause other people FOMO. You know what I mean? Other people would look at me and feel FOMO, and I love that. I also liked personally that obviously I was open to dating again, so I went on a lot of dates and it was a yes summer there. Honestly, at the beginning I was very, very nervous because I thought I was going to get murdered. But then eventually, and I'm not saying you should not be safe, but eventually I was kind of just being a little careless with it and not taking it too seriously. So I would go on dates with people that maybe we didn't talk much online yet, and then we just met up, or I was okay with meeting up with people who I didn't feel like would be the best fit. I wasn't too concerned about making sure that the person was worth it, I was kind of just like, yes, let's do it. Because I feel like if you do too much screening online of like, oh, is this person worth it? Like, what do they do? What's their age? And all this stuff. There's a lot of things that kind of fall through the cracks that you don't get to learn about them. And there's also a lot of things you don't get to learn about yourself if you're always kind of guarding yourself like that. Because I feel like what we're really doing when we are screening people through dating apps is trying to stay in our comfort zone. But when you just say yes and agree to do things that you may not normally do, I think that is when you learn the most about other people and also yourself. I learned a lot about myself through dating this summer, which was crazy. But I think I'm going to stop for a bit just because I'm a little tired and I'm feeling back in my introverted era. I was very, very extroverted this summer, but right now feeling a little more introverted. Anyways. Some specific highlights were, my two specific highlights were my time with my friends and also going outside. I think this was the summer I probably did the most outdoor stuff, and I honestly didn't even do everything I wanted to do. My friends and I ended up hiking every single weekend from the end of June up until the beginning of August, so that was like 6 straight weeks, which is a lot more than I usually do every single summer. Usually every summer I only do like 2 or 3. Even though I'm a self-proclaimed hiking lover and stuff like that, I don't go that often, especially not in the fall or winter, which I want to start doing. But I was so happy because I finally hit some hikes that have been on my bucket list for the longest time. For example, St. Mark's Summit is like a Vancouver classic hike that everyone talks about. And I had never done it until this year. And it was honestly probably the best hike that I've done all year. It was my favorite. But we also did Tunnel Bluffs, we did the Chief. Those ones I've done before, but they were very fun to do with my friends again. Also, half the fun of hiking is like suffering with your friends up the mountain. Tunnel Bluffs and the Chief for sure, we suffered a lot going up. I did the Grouse Grind 2 times. And what else did I even do? I don't even remember. We also went camping, and that was hiking too, but it was just so much fun. I've realized going outside just really grounds me, and I want to continue with that throughout the fall and winter. I know for myself specifically, I hate the rain. I hate when Vancouver gets all gloomy and cold in the winter, but I'm really going to challenge myself to make the most of the outdoor time while I can, especially like today. Like, look out the window. It's so freaking bright out. It's crazy. It's like brighter back there than it is on my face, which, what the heck? But I think this summer I truly realized like, oh my God, Vancouver is awesome. In the summer, at least. It is like my favorite place in the world, which is crazy. I still want to bike the seawall. I want to do all these things still. We'll get to them. Anyways, those were my highlights of the summer. And then the second question is, what was the most challenging thing for me this summer? So my challenge with this summer was not even really a bad thing now that I think about it, because I am very compassionate towards myself. But I will definitely say that I really had a lack of balance in this summer, in that I was really, really focused on having fun, going out with my friends and stuff like that, where honestly, it wasn't even that like I felt that I needed the alone time and I was neglecting it, but it was just very different from my regular self, where I just think it was just the opposite of the winter. Throughout the winter and the fall, I am very, very introverted, want to do things by myself and just stay home. But this summer I was out. There were points throughout the summer where I'd be eating food out every single night with different friends just because I wanted to see people and stuff like that. It was very hard to plan what I would eat at work the next day because I have to bring lunch almost every single day. So that was definitely something to think about. But yeah, I definitely like very much neglected the personal development side of things. And it's not like I need to focus on, oh, today I must lock myself in my house so that I can reflect on where I need to grow as a person. It's not really that. It's just like when I thought about it, I was like, wow, that is very different from how I usually am, which definitely there were some points where I would be very tired and also not take the best care of myself physically. Like I wasn't sleeping as much, and there were weeks where I just totally didn't go to the gym at all. But again, it's all about balance in the big picture. Like just because you don't have balance every single day, that doesn't mean you can't be balanced on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or something like that. Like right now, I'm definitely back in my grind to the point where I think I'm working out too much, but it's just a different focus than what I had a couple weeks ago in the summer where I wouldn't go to the gym. I remember there was an entire week where I didn't go because I was playing badminton with my friends and we went hiking and all this kind of stuff. So it wasn't even like I wasn't exercising, but it was just like a different routine, which I will definitely say is a good thing and a bad thing, which is why that was my biggest challenge. Good thing is obviously because I think it's great to break your routine at times because it's what challenges you and brings you out of your comfort zone, but also a bad thing because it really throws you off. For me, it did for sure. There were many a days when I went to work and I was completely exhausted, so it wasn't great. Okay, what am I grieving at the end of this summer? I am definitely grieving, or I will be grieving, the good weather. I mean, it's still a really nice day out today, as I said, but I know that when the rainy season starts, it's not going to end until like April, which really, really sucks. So I might honestly go outside this afternoon just to kind of soak up the sun while I can. I think I'm also going to definitely grieve the extroversion that I had. I think one part of it was like the sun was recharging my social battery. And so that's why it was so easy for me to see friends all the time and just do things and like want to do things. I definitely feel like I was the enabler this summer where I was like, oh my God, let's do this. Let's do this. Like, oh my God, I want to try this. Let's do it. Like I was always the one who was making plans. And that was because like I just wanted to do so many things. And I felt like my battery was always charged. And a big part of that was just the amazing weather and how nice it was every single day that made me feel motivated to do a bunch of things. All right, how can I intentionally close this summer? So totally mark it off as the end of a chapter, the end of a season, and the beginning of a new one. I really want to go on one last hike this year before summer ends. So I guess before the good weather ends. We're lucky that in Vancouver, even throughout September and October and a little bit of November, it'll still be sunny. It just starts getting a little bit colder. Even recently in the mornings, it's pretty chilly. But then when you get throughout the rest of the day, it's like really hot. So I do want to enjoy the rest of the outdoors while I can and just go outside, whether that is to bike, read, just enjoy, hike. I don't really know, but I do want to soak up the last of the sun. I definitely feel like the beginning of summer, the beginning and middle, I was super outside all the time. I got really tan, but recently I haven't been outside as much, but it's been okay. And last question, last but not least, what can I plan to feel more excited about fall? I definitely feel like there's a lot of sadness that comes with the end of summer, you know, for a lot of people, and for the majority of my life, it was the beginning of back to school, so less freedom and all that. But honestly, for me, technically my life doesn't really change. It's just that the weather gets worse, right? I'm still working full time. I technically still have the same schedule every single day. So I still want to continue having this yes attitude and this great opportunity to keep enjoying life even though it's fall. I feel like amazing fun should not just be limited to summer. So I definitely want to plan some fall specific activities, whether that's by myself or with friends. I think I'm definitely going to enjoy more alone time this season. I want to go bouldering more. I want to just spend a little bit more time by myself doing quote unquote productive things. So not just like on my phone scrolling at home, but you know, doing things away from the phone, away from the computer, and just enjoying life. And I think, I'm really excited to go to things like the pumpkin patch. I'm also super excited for when the Vancouver Christmas market comes back this winter, because that is definitely something I look forward to every single year. It's just so much fun. Even though my first time going was last year. But anyways, I'm really excited to go back this year is what I should say. I also want to, one thing that'll make me feel more excited is, I think setting goals and reflecting more often. I definitely fell off the bandwagon during the summer, as I said, because I used to do weekly reflections and stuff at my favorite cafe on Saturday mornings, every single Saturday. I started doing it again today, but throughout the summer I would just have plans and stuff like that, so I would kind of neglect that. That was like my designated alone time every single Saturday, so it was just, I missed it. And I was there today, this morning, reflecting, and I did definitely miss it. I was like very excited to write again and just reflect and be by myself, which was really nice. But anyways, that is the end of my summer reflection. Maybe you can use some of these questions to reflect about your summer and what you want to bring into fall. That's what we're going to talk about next week, which is my fall intentions and goals and how we are going to make this a feral girl fall, a hot girl fall. I don't know what you want to call it, but just the best fall ever. Autumn, as many other people say. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye.
And I was like, yo.